back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be practicing a chill chair yoga flow. All you're going to need is a chair, preferably without arms. I like to use a strap with this class specifically and some blocks. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt, you can use a sweater, a jacket, anything like that, a towel. If you don't have blocks, you can use books. But I really encourage you to bring these types of props to this class because we're going to be using them and it just gives a little bit more extra support and accessibility for all levels. So join me on the mat and let's get going. Standing, and we're going to kind of bring our feet a little bit of ways away from the chair. So we're about like an arm's distance away from the chair. And we're just going to start by planting our feet into the mat below us and finding a little bit of grounding before we get moving here. So welcome to this class. We're just going to move slowly, gently, and just wake our bodies up to get us started for the day. So standing firmly rooted into our feet, lifting our chest up, shoulder blades are back. And we're going to start with a little knocking on heaven's door. So we're just going to bump the hips side to side, letting our arms kind of move side to side as well. Just opening up the energetic fields, opening up the muscles, blood flow, circulation in the body, and getting us a little bit more fluid and flexible for our movement ahead. Inhaling in, finding a deep breath, grounding ourselves in this moment, asking ourselves what we want to get out of this practice today. Maybe it's just a good stretch. Maybe it's genuinely just prioritizing time for ourselves. Maybe it's resetting our nervous system to invite calmness. Whatever it is, welcome it to the mat today. And let's flow. So slowing down our rhythmic movement, inhaling in, we come to a stop as we lift our arms all the way up to the sky, root to rise, inhaling in. Maybe we do a little soft back bend, opening up the chest and the abs. Inhaling in, exhale, we bring our hands to the back of the chair and we're going to scoop our feet back slightly and slowly roll down into that forward fold. So we're using the back of the chair for a little bit more support with our hands. And maybe we just move our hips side to side, opening up the hips and the low back, hamstrings, taking stock in how we're feeling. Maybe it's shaking the head, a little yes and a little no. Good. We're going to bring that left hand to the middle of the mat, keeping our right hand on the back of that chair. Inhaling in, we lift that left arm all the way up to the sky. And as you do that, you notice that left leg straightens and that right knee bends. Welcome that in. Inhaling in. Exhale, dropping the hand to the back of the chair, bringing that right hand to the middle. Inhaling in, same idea, lifting that heart space up, lifting that right arm all the way up. Good, dropping the hand, switching sides again, bringing that left hand to the middle. Inhaling in, we lift up, stretching, finding that spinal twist. Good. Exhale, switching arms, bringing that right hand down to the middle. Inhaling in, we lift all the way up. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Bringing both hands to the back of the chair. We sink down into that forward fold. Again, maybe moving the hips side to side, or you can just be still and rest into the stretch. Thinking about pushing our hips and our sits bones back towards the wall behind us. Inhaling in Exhaling out, we slowly roll up and bring our feet closer to the chair, coming into a strong mountain pose. So again, you can keep your hands on the chair or you can kind of allow them to hang out by your side for just a moment. Standing up tall and powerfully. Good. Here's where we're going to bring that strap into play, or that belt, or whatever you have. So you're going to bring it, and you're just going to gently loop it around that right foot. So getting into a hip width stance from our feet. Inhaling in, standing up tall. You can hold on to the back of the chair if you want for a little bit more stability. We're going to lift that right knee all the way up and then come into a tree pose. So you can bring that foot towards the ankle, the calf, or up in the inner thigh. Holding onto the strap for a little bit more leverage and the chair for a little bit more support. Inhaling in, standing up tall, finding that balance. If you want to play around, you can bring your arms up to the sky. Whatever is fun and feels good to you. Good. Taking that strap, dropping the foot down, we're going to move that strap to the right side of the hip, on the outer hip, and we're going to bring that foot back into a dancer pose. So we're kind of bending that knee, using that strap for support. You can bring that left arm up and out into a full dancer, or you can just hang onto the chair and practice with some balance here. Good. If you fall out, that's okay, like I did. Just reposition, find that strong stance, coming back out. Dancer pose for one more breath here. Inhaling in. Exhaling out, releasing and dropping that strap away from that right foot. We're going to do that on the left. So we're going to bring that strap around that left foot. Again, creating our stance first, finding stability. Inhaling in, we lift that left knee up and turn it over either onto your calf, ankle, or inner thigh into tree pose. Again, using the strap and chair for your support, or you can play around with different arm postures. But noticing how it feels to use the props versus maybe without, and how we can maybe focus a little bit more on our balance. Good. Inhaling in, one more deep breath. And exhaling out. We're going to drop that left foot, bringing that strap over to the outside of the left hip. And we're going to pivot and bring that foot back, bending the knee. Here we come into dancer pose. We either hold on to the chair or we bring our arm all the way out. Inhaling in, playing around with our balance. Don't forget your breath. Inhaling in, one more deep breath. And unfolding out of that posture. Dropping that strap back onto the chair or onto the floor. Repositioning our feet so that they're hip width apart. Inhaling in, lifting the arms all the way up towards the sky. Inhaling in. Exhale, dropping the hands to the back of the chair. Bringing our feet back behind us. And slowly rolling down to a forward fold. Inhaling in. Maybe moving the hips side to side. Finding a moment for a deep stretch. Good. Rolling all the way back up. Coming back into that mountain pose. Finding power and stability. Good. We're going to come into a seated position on our chair. I'm going to move my chair so it's kind of facing the screen. You can obviously keep it however is good for you. I like to bring a blanket on top of the chair just for a little bit more comfort. You don't have to, it just feels kind of good. So keep that strap near you, as well as blocks if you have them. You don't need them, but I like to put them under my feet. And we're going for a wide stance to start. So feet and blocks are wide out, creating more space for our belly, more space for our hips. Sitting up tall, bringing those shoulder blades back together. Inhale in, we lift the arms all the way up to the sky. Inhaling in, we're gonna drop that left elbow onto the left knee, and we're finding a side bend over towards the left. Right arm is stretching that side body. Inhaling in, exhaling out. We're gonna bring that right hand through to the middle, dropping that right elbow down onto the right knee, lifting that left arm back into a side body as well. Inhaling in, exhaling out. Good. Again, moving through the middle, moving through center, dropping that left arm onto the left knee, lifting that right arm into a side body twist. Opening the heart space, inhaling in. One more time through the center, dropping that right arm down, lifting that left arm, side body bend. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Good. Coming through the center, dropping both elbows, both hands on the knees, lifting the heart space up into a neutral position. Good. We're gonna kick that block, if you have it, underneath your right foot away, and we're gonna pivot and turn our upper body to face our left knee. So here, make your stance as comfortable. You might widen your stance, you might sit on the edge of the chair a little bit more. Find your comfort. There shouldn't be any pinching or loss of breath. So we're gonna straighten that back leg out, turning over towards that left knee, inhaling and lifting the arms, shining up towards the sky. Inhaling in, warrior one. Finding a powerful stance here, inhaling in, exhaling out. We move our hands behind our head, turning our upper body to face forward. Warrior two. Strong arms, strong core. Keeping our feet planted and strong in the mat below us. We're gonna bring that right arm behind our back, lifting that left arm all the way up and finding a back bend, reverse warrior. Inhaling in and exhaling out, playing around here. Dropping that left elbow to the left knee, sweeping that right arm all the way through center into a seated triangle pose, lifting the heart space. Inhaling in and exhaling out, unraveling ourselves and coming back through to neutral position. You're gonna move that block away from that left foot. We're gonna open our body up towards the right side. If you wanna bring that block underneath the right foot, you absolutely can. Again, moving our upper body to face our left side. Inhaling in, we lift our arms all the way up. Warrior one, finding that strong posture. Inhaling in, bringing those arms behind our head, moving our upper body to face forward. Warrior two. Giving a slight smile, finding our power. Inhaling in. Exhaling out, bringing that left arm behind our back, lifting that right arm up and back, finding a slight back bend, reverse warrior. Inhaling in, exhaling out, dropping that right elbow to the right knee, swinging that left arm forward all the way up into a side bend triangle pose. Inhaling in, unraveling, opening the heart space. Exhaling out. We unravel, coming into a neutral position, keeping our feet wide, bringing those blocks underneath our feet if that felt good before. Keeping a wide stance, feet are pointed out and turned, bringing our arms through to prayer position, really pressing against those hands so that our elbows and forearms are active. Inhaling in, engaging the core, sitting up tall, sinking those sits bones into the chair. We find a seated goddess pose. Goddess pose is all about finding our inner power, our inner wisdom. So let's tap into that, reminding ourselves just how powerful and just how capable we are. Good. Inhaling in, one final breath. Exhaling out, we unravel our hands down to meet our knees. Here, we're going to move our feet a little bit closer to the midline. You can keep your feet on the blocks if you want, or you can drop them off. Here is when you're going to grab your strap. So we're going to grab that strap and we're going to loop it around the bottom of the right foot. So as you have that strap around that foot, you're going to bring both hands to the strap and you're going to slowly raise that leg up. So you're feeling a deep stretch in the calf coming towards the hamstring, flexing that foot slightly, inhaling in, moving that foot and that leg all the way out towards the right. So you're feeling a deeper stretch maybe in the inner thigh. Good. Coming back through to the middle. Here we have options. You can bring that foot to meet the left knee and coming into a figure four. If that's not accessible or comfortable to you, you can drop that foot and everyone comes into a forward fold. So those are your choices, figure four or a full forward fold. Taking a few moments with our breath, inhaling in and exhaling out. Good. Unraveling, coming back through to neutral. We're going to do the same on the left. So we're going to bring that strap to loop around our left foot. Again, grabbing that strap with both of our hands, bringing that foot slightly up, flexing that foot and stretching that calf and that hamstring. Taking your time, slowly moving it out towards the left side of the body. Opening the inner thigh, inhaling in, exhaling out. Again, we move it forward either onto our knee into a figure four, or we drop all the way down to a forward fold. Your choice, whatever feels good to you. Taking a moment here with our breath. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Slowly unraveling, Dropping that strap. Everyone lifting our arms all the way up towards the sky. And exhale, we're gonna pretend like we're using our hands to paint the wall in front of us, active hands, as we come into a forward fold. We'll be moving our head slightly back and forth, opening up the neck and shoulders. Using that breath to sink deeper into this stretch. One more deep inhale in. And exhale, we slowly roll all the way up. Head is the last to rise. Good. So you can sink back further into your chair if that feels comfortable to you. We're going to end this practice with just a couple of massage movements to release tension and allow us to move on with our day with a little bit more space and movement for our body. So we're gonna come bringing our two fingers, our index finger and our middle finger, right to our cheekbones. You're gonna open your mouth slightly and you'll feel a little bit of an indent between that. You're gonna sink your fingertips down into that area and lift up, bringing those fingers to roll all the way up towards your eyes. Good, letting go and doing that a couple more times. So inhaling in, sinking our fingers into the cheekbones, lifting the fingers all the way up and letting those fingers just kind of massage the cheekbone area. One more time. Good. We're going to do a little bit of a massage for our neck. So we're going to turn our neck towards the left side, our left shoulder. We have this big, thick muscle called your sternocleidomastoid, SCM for short, because who the fuck is going to say that? You're going to grab with your thumb and your index finger, and you're going to grab that muscle slightly, gently, but you're going to have a good firm hold on it. And as you hold onto it, you're going to move that head all the way to the middle. And it's going to slowly kind of relax and release from your fingertips. And you're going to do that just a couple of times on that muscle. So taking your time with your breath, inhaling in and exhaling out. Good. Doing that on the other side of the neck. Turning the neck over towards the right shoulder, using that index finger and thumb to grab hold onto that muscle. Inhaling in, moving head to the middle, and letting that muscle just kind of release on its own. Good. Again, repositioning, finding that muscle, turning the head. Couple more times, inhaling in. Exhaling out, good. We release that area. We're going to use our full hand here, so the bottom of that hand and then our fingers, and we're gonna grab on top of the trap muscle. So you're gonna just hold on to that area right next to your neck and shoulders, that's your trap. Holding onto it with a grip firm and slowly lifting it up from the fingertips. And it'll slowly kind of release in your hands. And that's just gonna help kind of open this area up, give it a little bit more release from muscular tension, and allows us with a little bit more mobility in the neck. Couple more times, just giving a little bit of massage on the shoulders. Good. Dropping our hands to our knees. We'll lift our chin all the way up towards the sky, coming into slight head circles, so moving slowly and gently. Using your breath, maybe we reverse the circle, going the opposite way. Taking one more deep inhale in and coming back through to a neutral position. Bring our hands to our heart space, thanking our body and our brain for prioritizing a little bit of time for movement and connection. Thank you for joining this class. We're all going to end with a deep inhale in, inhaling in, bringing our hands to our third eye, inhaling and exhaling out. Namaste. With that flow, be sure to move gently and gracefully through the rest of your day. After this practice, be sure to drink lots of water. Check out my channel every week on Sundays for new videos. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and share this to someone who might like a little bit of a chair yoga flow in their life. Thanks.